Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Good evening. Okay. Whatever it is, wherever you are, have a new one. Okay. Like shining them but a swallow at the bottom of that water bottle. Okay. Let it go, Sean. Let it go. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hi. Good morning. Good morning. Um, hello, everyone. I see y'all running up. Oh, look at y'all. Come on. In the room. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. Absolutely. Hello everyone. Nina and Medusa and Paul says you don't look hot today. Thanks. Okay. Shout out to Lami. Hi, sweetheart. She says, what in the world? Hi, PS5, Nikki, Tasha. Hi, Tasha. Tasha sharing my boo. Kay, Danielle, Patricia. Hello, 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 hello. We have some stuff to discuss. We absolutely do. Um, I wouldn't be me if I didn't, tell the audience everything. Okay. The audience needs to hear everything. All right. So we're gonna do just that. Yeah. Talk a little bit about Blueface and his DNA results. Love that for him. Um Sherry says, so that means she lying about Junior. I guess we'll see. You know, who is she? We'll get into that. We're gonna be playing some videos, and we'll go from there. This isn't a bashing session or anything like that. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. I would already be doing that. If this was like a bashing session, it's not. It's not that. But we are going to tell the truth. We are going to be honest because I don't, you know, see what other way we could go with it besides just telling the truth and letting the audience decide on what they feel like is what is what. Who are we to tell you what you are supposed to think, right? I believe it's up to you, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to leave it on the floor. Um, what you all decide to do with the information that I'm going to give you is up to you, you know. Um, but I'm not here in any way, shape, or form to, rip her apart or anything like that. I am going to pop her. Okay, this is what we do. Um, but it just is what it is. I'm the church member, and that was a false allegation from my mother. What are you talking about? Would you like to call in really quick, Valencia? Would you like to call in quick, sweetie? Um, if the allegation is false, okay, you're saying yes. Mods, can you drop the phone number for her? 404 um 404-954-2043. Mods, if you would like to drop that phone number for Valencia so she can call in, that would be great. If she wants to speak, that's fine. She is being discussed, so she has every right to speak. Hold on, I'm going to turn the line on because it's shut off. Okay. Boom. Okay. Yeah, if you would like to call in, you sure can. I'm gonna turn that on.
Power on.
So everyone.
The Bluetooth device
Area.
The Bluetooth device is connected
All right.
successfully.
All right. So yeah. So if you would like to call in, you sure can. Again, the phone number is nine. Sorry, Lord, 404-954-2043. That is what the call in number is. Admit, Sean, I gotta go now. Your mama been dealing with your ish and she tired. Oh, how you know that? Who? Who? Um, oh, girl, I knew yesterday you was gonna drop the T. Demetra Boo, I was trying to give her grace and trying to give her time. That's all I was doing, Demetra. Incoming call. And looking out for my boo Blone, because that's my girl. Because that's my girl. Oops. Ooh, Lord, I pressed pound. Hi, Valencia, you're on the line. Can you turn me down in the back, please?
You said what, Sean?
I said, can you turn me down in the back?
Hold on. Hold on. I didn't even. It didn't even. Okay, there you go. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Sean.
Perfect. So, what's going on?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
What's going on? Hi, Mr. Sean. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you, sweetheart?
It's been a lot, but I'm okay. I feel like I'm okay. I've been watching you. I have been I don't know how to do online etiquette, Sean. I just know how to be point blank, period. I People keep on judging because of me being emotional, crying, this, and that. I wasn't only emotional because, well, first of all, the junior situation is a trigger for me because when it's just like anything else in your life, when something happens close to you and you feel like that your hands are tied or anything else, it can be emotional. I did not know that I was even going to be that emotional. On the second video that I just put out, I was not crying. My voice was hoarse, but I just seen the thing where you said ex church member. Hold on, y'all. I'm on the phone. Okay. Thank you. Um, it showed that I was had stolen from terminally ill grandfather. So, the story that I was telling you about my background and everything that happened to me when I was younger, off and on, and everything like that, because people were like, where's the proof that her stepfather was arrested and all this? Well, my stepfather has since then has passed. Other people has come forward since then, talking about the things that he's done to them. When I said that I forgave my parents, I didn't forgive my parents just because I was in a messed up situation. I forgave my parents because my parents did not step up as they should have as parents and protect me. My mother was aware, my biological mother was aware. I have godmothers and women in the church and everything else that had took me in, that had fought for me and all type of stuff. Fast forward, me and my grandfather, which is my biological mother's father, had always been very close. Always, like he's always been there for me financially, mentally, emotionally. He's taken me in as well. When my grandfather okay, so I get Social Security disability. At the time, in Oklahoma, being a Social Security disability recipient at that specific time, if you were a convicted felon or you had any felony charges, you had to have a payee, or in order to get they would send the money on a direct express card. My grandfather was my payee. Anything that I accepted on that card, I don't know if maybe I shouldn't say it or whatever. I don't know because it wasn't all the way right. However, my grandfather gave me the car. He didn't want to be over having to, issue out the funds and this and that. At that time, my biological mother was so vindictive. Since then, we have mended. We've been to therapy. We've worked on our relationship. But at that time, it was just like, as you can imagine, oil and water. My stepfather was my mother's husband. Since then, my mother has apologized to me. She has told me she was sorry. She forgive me. She should have been more. She should have protected me more. She should have took more precautions and everything like that. But when the statement came in, so when they do give you a direct express card, when you have a payee, the grandfather's name is at the top. My name is at the bottom. They send the bank statements and everything to him because he's the payee for all transactions. My mother, at her own discretion, went to press charges on me. When they showed the news footage, they said that, oh, she's incarcerated right now. I was sitting at home watching the same thing like everybody else. When I contacted the news station, I'm like, no, that is not true. I'm at home. This is this and that. My grandfather even was letting them know, like, no, he never pressed charges. He did not know why she did that because in Oklahoma, you could call the police right now and say, somebody shot me in the face or somebody assaulted me. They're going to press the charges first. Then you have to go to court afterwards in order to prove your innocence. If you don't have a lawyer to do a walk, what we call a walkthrough or a bondsman to do a walkthrough to avoid being incarcerated, then they will still arrest you on that charge and you have to prove your innocence. I had to prove my innocence after all of that. And yeah, I do have a background of being a convicted felon and all of that, Sean. I've had to survive. Those were the things that I was speaking on when I said that, I've made a lot of mistakes and everything like that in my past, but I was straight survival mode. Like I'm not gonna, be dishonest about anything in my past. I shoplifted. I've done all type of things to survive. When I was younger, by the time my stepdad has offered me to his peer group, to people that's in his peers and stuff. I'm trying not to say too much on your thing because I don't know what all I can say or can't say. But I've done a lot. Like I've, in so many words, my body has been exploited and all type of stuff. And then I would go to a family member and try to tell them, and I need help, and I need this and this and that, and the family member in that home would try to take advantage and exploit as well. Not all my family. I have a lot of family that stand up that supported me. When I went into St. Anthony's, it's a child facility here. I went into St. Anthony's with the trying to unalive and stuff like that. They my family stepped up, they helped me, they corralled me, and I got the support and everything that I needed. But those allegations were not true. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm just sorry. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. Okay, can you hear me?
Like you said, but I think, like you said, nobody cares about that. Y'all want to hear about Junior, and I understand that, and that is real. I don't know if you want to ask me something or anything like that, but yeah, that is the truth about my past. And there was a very hurtful situation. Matter of fact, a lot of people that heard that or seen that, they immediately, well, mostly everybody, they already knew that it was fake. And my mom has done a lot of things like that before. My mom has called CPS on me. My mom has, my biological mother, she has done a lot of things, and it was more in favor to protect her image and protect her persona, and things like that. And from her past or whatever, protecting her husband. I've had CPS show up the initial first time, and I could show you. Well, not like you told me, don't even say that. I had pictures from when I was younger, well, from when I was abused and everything, that my great grandparents took of me, and my great grandparents submitted those pictures before. And initially, CPS, when they was doing an investigation, I was just staying at my grandmother's house. They didn't do anything. They did not do nothing. And my mom would always try to explain things away. And all of this, it was up until everything broke out after I had ended up going to the doctor in the pregnancy and stuff like that with my stepfather. I had been it's a whole paper trail of me telling people, school officials and everything, what was going to me. And in my family, I don't even think there's barely any women in my family that hasn't been or went through the things that we've went through, assaulted, been, survivors and stuff like that. There's no women in our family. It's like a generational curse. But the difference between me and my family is I was the one that started speaking up for myself. I started being the black sheep in some people. Some people would tell me to be quiet about it. Some people would say, well, don't say anything. Some people supported that, supported me, had my back 1,000,000%. So it was what it was. But yes, it used to be a lot of vindictive things that was against me that had a lot to do with me not wanting to. I know how it feels when you come forth and you say something and you're not believed. Like that is the story of my life.
Yeah.
So my motivation, and then people are asking why was I using the word cloud? I'm using the word cloud for number one because that's what keeps on coming to me. Inboxes, messages, yes, she's clout chasing, she's clout chasing, she's clout chasing.
Yeah.
I started watching your videos I was watching your videos I want to say probably from the last few weeks, maybe. And I think I seen one of your videos when I haven't watched all of them, but I seen one of your videos and it was like, we want cloud. And so,
I know what I'm doing.
It made me laugh and everything.
Y'all not here for no reason.
Your stuff when I be in the hospital.
She needs to get it out.
And so I was just laughing and I'm like, that's really the truth, how they make you feel like that's what I don't want that. And you know what, Sean? You right. I should have not have showed my face. I would take full accountability for everything. I should have not have showed my face. It just happened so fast. Like, we can drop the link if you would like to come up and everything. And it's no different than what I've said in your comments and everything. Like, I've been to church where y'all are accurate. Those are the comments that I have made. Like, I've been to church where y'all are accurate. That's pretty much what I was saying. I didn't intend on going up speaking in details and things like that. It just kind of happened, and I don't have etiquette and stuff. And Sean, the initial footage and everything that I showed the police and I showed CPS, they had that information. They did not do anything. They said it would be an investigation. Sean, they did not do anything. When I said I could show you this and show you that, they never at the time said that would be relative to child porn, that it's a felony offense to record a child in a private setting without the consent of adults. That had never been told to me before. Never, not one time. They never said if you share it online, you send it to someone, it could also be a federal offense. They never told that to me. When I resubmitted everything to the Oklahoma Police Department, that's when, because they had already been contacting me. When I resubmitted everything, they said, and I never took into consideration if there would be an issue in sharing anything. I never took that into consideration. And you're right, I spoke too soon, and I should have never, and everybody should hold me accountable for that because I did say, I could show this, I could show that. I don't have any problems with any of that, and I didn't. When they contacted me and they said, if you share this, you share that, that's a conviction, a charge being pressed and everything, then I had to take that into consideration, Shauna. You know my background, you know my history. And
okay, hold on. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you can hear me. I definitely wanted you to get off your chest what you feel like you need to get off because I know a lot is going on. So I was positive that you would have a lot to say. Now, the reason that, can you mute really quick? Because there's a little feedback, and I don't want you to keep hearing a bunch of feedback on your end.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, just hit the mute. Thank you. So I know you're probably wondering why my title is my title, Chrisean, ex-church member, exposed for stealing from a terminal or grandpa, etc. The reason that's in the title is because this is all about you, right? Nothing more, nothing less. I could have been put this information out there, and I know everything. Like when it comes to you, I know everything because I do extensive research on anybody that comes on my show. You reached out to me prior, right? And the reason that I did not pick up your story is because you did say that you had proof. Now, I don't mind a person just having a story. Your story is your story, and it belongs to you. Nobody can take that from you, right? But when you're saying you have evidence to back what you are saying, then set evidence is going to be expected, right? It's like me saying, I call you on the phone and you tell me that you are on your way to work, you're about to catch the bus to work, and I tell you like, hey, no, don't worry about catching the bus. I'm going to give you a ride later on. Just call me when you need a ride. And then you call me and I'm like, what you calling me for? Now you done missed the bus, all of that, because that's pretty much like what's going on with Blonay. When you went on Blonay's platform, your story was your story. It belonged to you. But you promised the audience, as well as Blonay's as well, that you had proof to back what you are stating. So the people expecting the proof, they shouldn't be shunned or like they're trying to victim shame or like they're making this because that's kind of like what the energy is given. It's like two sides of energy. One side of energy is an audience of people that genuinely believe your story. And then you have the other side of the audience of the people that want to believe you, but a lot of people have been bamboozled on the internet before. There's been plenty of people that have came forward and said that they've been ill, that their children have been ill, that they've seen something. We've been through that time and time again over here. And again, the main agenda is Junior. So the reason I kept this information in the background and why I didn't say anything is because it doesn't have anything to do with anything if your story is legit, right? So if your story is legit, you're telling the truth, and you have these receipts that you said that you had, then we have, who cares what you did in the past? That's why I didn't bring anything forward. But as of now, you haven't brought anything forward. And now the audience is coming to myself and Blonay because you're publicly stating that you sent me things, and you're also publicly stating that you sent Blonay things, and we don't have anything. So the audience keeps coming to us as if we owe them something, and sweetie, we don't. You do. You owe them that because you told them that. Okay. The audience didn't ask you for receipts. Blonay didn't ask you for receipts. Sean didn't ask you for receipts. Like nobody did that. You offered them. So when you go to offer something, you have to deliver. Okay. So at this point, you still have to deliver. We understand that you have a past. We understand that you've been through a lot of stuff. Okay. But that don't have nothing to do with Junior, because this is what this is about. Okay. We got really excited when you came forward because we keep hearing all of these stories, Valencia, but you're a eyewitness. I've never met Junior. Blonay has never met Junior. So we can only go off what's being brought to us and what we see just like anybody else. That's it. We're not around them, right? So you gave us hope because now we have someone that we can back, that no one can negate or refute to say that you are lying. Nobody can do that. Like we finally have someone tangible because we all believed you, right? We did. The reason I didn't take your story in the first place is because I was just waiting for the receipts. I never got any. So I kept going because I don't do things for clout. Because I could have just threw you online. Oh, yep, ex-member. She said, da, 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 da. I didn't do that because I genuinely want Junior to get help. This is not about clout to me because I am that. You know what I'm saying? I could talk about anything. Paint drawing on the wall. You know? I've been shifting my content in another direction while still raising awareness for Junior. So that's not a must, right? So we got really happy when we heard from you because you were like a beacon of like hope. It's like, oh, finally. Because like all of these people around Junior, but nobody's saying anything. Nobody's doing anything. This is why people are getting upset because it's like, okay, we keep talking about Junior, but nothing's happening, right? So you were someone to where we felt like, okay, we're going to put our all behind you. Myself, Blonay, and a few other content creators, we really want to push you. We really want to pub you. We really want to back you, right? I sent Blonay the information about your past so that she could be prepared because you did not prepare her. You did not. And the naysayers can use this exact title against me, Blonay, and anybody that tries to defend you. So we needed you to be telling the truth. We want you to be telling the truth. This is why we have given you time, because we could have been did this. We're giving you time to tell your story because it belongs to you. And the audience, okay, are coming to us. They're dependent on us. They're sitting around every time Bologna goes live. She has to speak on this. And that's unfair to her because now it seems like you handed her a responsibility that she wants to deliver but can't deliver without you. So now the audience is blaming her. So now the audience is like, Bologna, you brought this woman here. This woman said that she had proof backing what she's saying, that she was going to give it to you. Where is it? Where is that? So your credibility is not what I'm concerned about. What I'm concerned about is now Bologna's credibility because people believe Bologna. They've been following her hardcore. They believe she really wants what's best for Junior. And that's what she's trying to attract. She's trying to attract the people that want the best for Junior. And I still believe that you do. I think you care about Junior. I do. I really do. I don't think that this is like you don't want him to get help. Or I do. I'm just confused like the rest of the audience. We're just confused. So I'm going to protect Bologna, and that's what I'm doing by letting the audience know both sides of the story. I had no intention of coming here trying to attack you or anything like that, because that's not my intention. Because if I attack you, if there's other people that may have information or want to come forward, if this is how we treat the people, why would they want to? If they have firsthand information, why would they want to come forward like, well, I've seen what they were doing to Valencia. I want that to happen to me. So that's, trust me, it's not my approach. I don't want to do that at all because I want as many people to come forward that want to help and assist and have seen things. Like I want them to do that. I don't want to discourage them. And I don't want to discourage you if you're telling the truth. I don't want to discourage you. I don't want that for you. I want you to be believed because you have a powerful story. It's powerful. It moved people. You have the attention of many right now. And I just hope that the attention that you have, you deserve it. Because I would hate to think that you're using a child, because this isn't Chrisean. You were talking about Chrisean Jr. That's why you have our attention. Because if you're just talking about how you seen Chrisean and how she's dirty and filthy, we wouldn't care. That's just her being dirty and filthy. She's a grown woman, you know? But this is a kid. This is an innocent. So we just wanted clarity. Bologna needs clarity. Her audience needs clarity. That's it. Because again, that information about your grandfather and the other information that I have, including about the man that you've been, dealing with and been helping in and out of prison, all of that stuff, who cares? None of that matters. Okay? But if you're not going to bring what you stated, what you promised to bring forward, then I'm going to look out for Bologna. Because I don't want a whole audience, a whole sector attacking her for allegedly supposed to be bringing something, because she's an innocent. She didn't do nothing. She didn't do anything. All she did was hear you out. I don't want Bologna to be stoned because she just simply wanted to hear you out. She didn't know what you were going to say when you came up there. She had no idea. But she backed you, and she's doing that with her audience, her platform. She's putting her platform on the line right now for you because this is one of her bigger stories. So this can make or break her. And that's not fair if you're not being honest. So while you're ahead, if your story may not be true, or maybe certain parts that you may have embellished, then I would prefer you do that now, to be honest about that now, instead of waiting until later to do so. Continuously digging a hole for somebody else, because you're not digging it for you. You're digging it for Bologna. This is her credibility on the line. Her platform is on the line. Because this isn't my story. This is you and Blow. Y'all make this viral. Everybody's talking about this in the sectors. Everybody's sharing it online. You understand that you're getting a lot of attention for it too, right? So again, I'm not here to attack you. I don't know you to attack you. I know of you, but I don't know you to attack you. I don't know you to be like, you are lying. You are literally lying. As of right now, when it comes to the story of Junior, we don't have much to say that you're telling the truth. And that is the problem. That's our issue, right? Because there's an innocent boy that is involved in this. And it doesn't need to become bigger than him to where other conversations are being had, to where Junior's being left in the background, to where now it's more of, let's talk about Valencia and Sean Davieway and Below Nate. We're fine. We're good. Junior not. So that is what I was trying to prevent by allowing you time to get together what you said that you were going to get together to send to Blonay. That information is going to help us be able to pursue helping Junior in a different way. We could help him differently now. Instead of contacting certain people saying what we saw, we have somebody that was there. You know, it's different. Yes, I could call CPS all day long, but I'm not a witness to anything. Watching the video is not being a witness. Being in the video is a witness. Recording the video is a witness. That's you. A witness. So this could have went somewhere completely different. And we were all for putting all of our energy and platforms behind you. So that's where we are right now. That's where we are.
Okay. Can I come off?
Go right ahead.
Now?
Yep. Go right ahead, sweetheart. Go right ahead.
Okay. I don't know if you recently spoke to Blonay, but I spoke to Blonay. I believe the last time I spoke to her was 2:00 this morning. When I spoke to Blonay initially, because, you know, of course we were talking behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
When I was started to show Blonay the video, and they did tell me, they said if I share it, send it. That's what I was telling you, Sean. When I was contacted, they told me to resubmit what I have to the Oklahoma Police Department.
Mm-hmm. Okay, hold on. Let's back this up. Hold on, let's back this up before we get there. Okay, let's back this up because I feel like clarity is needed for a lot of people. Okay, so you went on to Blonay's show. You told, shout out to Blonay Media. Y'all get over there and subscribe to Blonay. We love her. You told her on her show that you went to a church at Faith City, I believe, in Oklahoma.
No, it's Transformation Church in Oklahoma. With Pastor Todd.
Okay, so they're with Pastor Todd, and they're connected to the Faith City in Baltimore.
Yes, sir. They actually do a lot of business and revivals and conferences and everything together. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So how did you first come into contact with Chrisean Rock and Chrisean Jr.? How did that go?
Okay, so they were doing an outreach program. They help people from time to time that are incarcerated, homeless, whatever the case may be. I don't know if you want me to give my personal opinion or just freely talk, but to me, it seemed like they reached out to her and targeted her intentionally because of who she was and her status.
Okay, so when you're stating they, are you speaking of the church?
Yes.
Okay, so the church reached out to Chrisean while she was in prison?
Yes, sir. They have an outreach program. They work with certain advocacies, YWCA, They work with a lot of different organizations.
So was Chrisean incarcerated when she would come and visit at the church?
Can you repeat yourself, Sean?
So,
I'm sorry.
No
it's sounding staticky on my end because I called you from a different phone number when you was on the thing. I called on my daughter's number, but I probably need to call on from my phone because this phone is a mess. But can you repeat yourself? I apologize.
Yeah, no problem. So you said that Chrisean was a part of the outreach program while she was incarcerated?
Yes.
So when she would come to the church, was she like in jail still?
They have a chapel. Different volunteers go into the county jail and everything. They speak. It reminds you as if you want to, so if you put in a request and say that you want to speak to someone, if you want to speak to someone and get prayer, if you want to speak to someone, they have certain things in place to where in the county jail, people can meet with you once or twice a week. Oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. They have people that can meet with you once or twice a week outside of your cell in the conference room down the hall in the county jail.
Okay. So so were you there, or was it just other church members that would go and counsel
There
Chrisean?
were other church members that would go in.
Okay.
I would work close to the youth ministry doing advocacy and things like that. I would be advocating. I would do freestyle poetry. I would come in. I would volunteer. I would just pretty much wherever they would put me. I would mostly end up. So you could sign up for like if you want to be in the child room, if you want to be in this, if you want to work in productions, if you want to work in the music. They have people that contact you, and then when they contact you, you can say you can do this, do this, do that. Well, I've always been doing poetry and traveling and working with churches and stuff, so they be familiar with me. And when they reached out to me, and go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let
No,
you
you're
ask
fine. You're
questions
fine. I
because
get
I
it.
don't want to be
No,
rambling
you're just
all
fine.
over the place. And I
So
know you're trying to get clear.
no, you're
Go
fine.
ahead. I apologize.
So you were part of the outreach program. So you signed up to deal with the children, or did you sign up to go to the prison and do like poetry and stuff there?
No, I signed up to deal with the children.
Okay.
I could not go to the prison. I mean, I couldn't go up to the jail directly or anything like that because of my background.
Yeah. Okay. So because of your background, you weren't allowed to go to the prison, but with your background, they let you work around other children.
Yeah, they will let you work around the shit. Like they have a stipulation. So Oklahoma County, if you have any type of felony or anything like that, the reason why they don't let you work inside of the jail is because Oklahoma County Jail is notorious for people when they've tried that before in the past. People go in taking people things in on the inside. People would show favor. Food, something small as even taking somebody a burger is considered contraband. So they don't let you work in the county jail because of your background, not because of your history, but because of the history that they have with allowing people to work close to them. Those people, even nurses, a lot of nurses have gotten fired for working close to the inmates and getting them things in and stuff like that. So I guess it's just an extra um, I guess it's just an extra precautionary that they have in place.
Yeah.
Yes, I was allowed to work with children, and no, they did not vet thoroughly. And I was up for it and forthcoming with that. I guess because I have never done a violent offenses, because they say that on the paper. Have you ever had any history of violent? Do you have any violent history? Have you ever been convicted of, sexual crimes? Am I allowed to say that on here?
That's fine.
Um, if you ain't never did none of that, you can still work with in the children's ministry.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. So you were working with the children at this point in time. So how did you and Chrisean come face to face?
Me and Chrisean did not come face to face until I started asking questions. Chrisean would have her child inside of it's something called a children's church. Basically, it's basically like a daycare at the church.
Okay.
So you can work with from babies all the way up to young adults.
Okay. So hold on.
Different
Let me
classes
pause you
and
right there.
settings.
Let me
So
pause you right
what
there.
I
Let me
was
pause you right
doing is
there. Hold on.
something called a floater.
Okay, let me pause you right there.
So
Let me pause you.
go
So hold
ahead.
on. So with Chrisean Jr., who had Chrisean Jr. if Chrisean was in jail? Like how did he come to the church? How did
He did not come to the church initially while she was in jail. He did not come until after she was released.
Okay. So how did you have any information about what she had going on with the youth council when they would come and visit her in jail if Chrisean was still, because you weren't allowed to go to the jail. So how did you have the information about who was doing what in jail with Chrisean?
When we all talked, it's all under the same umbrella. So they'll fill you in on such and such is going to be coming. We're going to need extra helpers. We're going to have a special needs child coming in. You have to do certain training. You have to know how to do you have to know how to do CPR. You have to know certain certifications and certain criteria that you have to meet. So they give you a heads up. hey, we've been working with, da, da, da. And at first they would say, we're working with a certain person. We're going to have a guest coming really soon. We're trying to help them, you know, we're trying to help them get out of being incarcerated. We're trying to do this and we're trying to do that. So, with that being said, people was talking and, you know, it was whispers and everything going on. So I already knew that they were working with her.
Okay. So then when
But
Chrisean got out, Chrisean Jr. started coming to the church with her.
hold on, what'd you say?
So
What?
when Chrisean got out of jail, she started bringing Chrisean Jr. to church with her.
Yes.
Okay. And you worked in the youth center, so you were in the daycare at the time?
Yes.
And she would leave Junior in the daycare with you. And were there any other workers, or was it just you?
Yes, there were other workers. There's a whole ministry of workers that's there because the ages is from babies all the way up to young adults. So they would be in different classrooms, like in different areas.
So when you would see Chrisean Jr., like what would you see? Like what state and stuff was he in?
Um, when we first seen him, she was trying to play it off as if he was just fine, and she would say things like, "Here's his bottle, here's his this, and here's." It would never. She would never barely even bring anything with her. It was like she was never prepared. When she would bring him, she would say, "This is his bottle, and this is this," and we would ask her questions like, "Well, is he gonna eat? Is he gonna?" You know, what is he? Is he allergic to anything? Is this, you know, we would ask all of the questions. She wouldn't even, she would be like, no, this don't, he doesn't want this. Doesn't want that. She would say, oh, he does, or we would say, okay, let me back up. When we would try to give him like something like baby food or something like that, and I'm like, well, he doesn't want it. He doesn't want to eat it. He doesn't like it. He's not enjoying it. He's having difficulty, you know, ingesting the food and stuff like that. She would always say that things like, oh, well, he doesn't like it. She would say, I can't feed him. She would say that, or she would make excuses that he already ate before he would change. She would say stuff like,
Okay, well, hold on. Can I pause you? Can I pause you really quick? You said on Blonay's show that you didn't know that he couldn't eat.
Right. I did. That's why I kept trying to feed him.
Well, when did you try to feed him? But that's why I'm confused.
He could not eat until
Hold on,
after a while.
Hold on one second.
Go ahead.
Hold on one second, sweetie. You said that Chrisean told you that he doesn't like to eat, that he doesn't eat.
Mm-hmm.
So then that means that you were aware. So at one point did you start trying to feed him to not know that he didn't want to eat?
Chrisean did not say that he didn't like to eat and stuff until after I approached and I told her, why is he not eating? Why doesn't he like to eat this? Why doesn't he like to eat that? Is there an issue? I was vetting her. Because you're supposed to disclose that when they come. If a child has any type of complications, issues, or anything, you're supposed to say that up front. So I'm asking her, and she would say that she does it. Not only would she say he does not like to eat, she would say that she would, and then she would go back and forth. That's what would be a red flag for me. She would go back and forth and forget. She told me that he already ate. He doesn't eat much. Mm-hmm. And then it would be, oh, he don't like to eat. It was always something different that she had told me beforehand. And when she would be inside of the church talking to, you know, we would be asking questions, or if you would just observe her, she did not seem like she was sober. She did not have no sense of no alcohol or nothing like that, but she was definitely up. She was the opposite of down.
Yeah. Did any of the other workers notice the same thing about Chrisean Jr. not eating and things like that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Did they say anything to Chrisean?
Hold on. You said, did they what at the time?
Did they say anything to Chrisean about Junior not eating, etc.?
Yes, it was two other people that said that we would talk amongst ourselves, and I would always be told, girl, just leave that alone. Or when I would say something about his appearance, when I would say that, his skin, even not just everybody keeps talking about the bruises and stuff, it was before that, before you can even get to that part, his skin would have this yellowing to it. Like it was like kind of like a jaundice. And so I would say something like, he don't look like he feel well. He didn't act like he was he didn't act like he was down and not feeling well, but he definitely looked like it. And his eyes did have a yellowing tint to it and all of that. And we would talk amongst ourselves and they would sit up there and tell me, well, they travel a lot. They would always try to be dismissive to me.
So when did it get to the point where you felt the need, because this was all happening in Oklahoma, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So when did it get to the point where you felt the need to bathe Chrisean Jr. or etc.?
Okay, so when we went to Baltimore, so we was invited to do poetry and everything there, and just come visit. And like here in Oklahoma, people, it's really like that's the thing to do, to go to different conventions, Memphis, stuff like that. So we were planning to go to Baltimore. When we got there, I really wanted to be away from the whole entire church. She had not been there in forever. She kept in touch and everything with with the church here in Tulsa. She would keep in touch and stuff like that from what I was told. I just was like, I don't even want to deal with this. Like it made me upset. And then I felt like I was being dismissed. People kept telling me, leave it alone. So I went on about my business. Plus I wasn't feeling well.
Who was dismissing you? Who was dismissing you?
Go ahead.
Who was dismissing you?
I had the lead coordinator. I mean, people was it was a bunch of members that was dismissing me. And if you want me to tell you exactly who behind the thing, I mean, outside of here, I can tell you exactly who, what, and the name, and the position. But if you want me to be generalize it now, it was staff members, it was people that we worked with inside of the classrooms. I was always just like, girl, yeah, I mean, I know it's, just leave it alone, such and so said that, they travel a lot, or it was like they wanted to appease her.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand that. It's been other known people that have visited and everything else, and nobody acted like that. But I guess nobody else had kids either, though. Yeah. They didn't bring their kids when they come and visit and stuff like that. Or it was several guests that brought their kids. Their kids looked well, was well presented. So I can't, compare them as apples and oranges. But I'm just saying, like, they didn't come off as trying to protect people or be dismissive if somebody was to say something. It was one guest that had visited and it was an issue, they had a marital issue. It wasn't like everybody was hush-hush about that.
Yeah.
It was allegations that they had got into it in the parking lot and at the hotel. It wasn't hush-hush, though. It wasn't like just, we're not going to address it. They addressed that.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand, why are we not addressing this?
And when you're saying not addressing this, are you talking about addressing Chrisean Jr.'s condition? Like, what do you mean not addressing?
Yes, I am talking about addressing Chrisean Jr.
Okay.
So I don't understand why. There's not no way that you can. I just can only go off of my own experience at the time. I've traveled. I've done this. I've traveled and I felt well and everything else. Ain't no way in the world you about to see. I don't care if we got to be. I done left the house because I don't live in Tulsa. I live in Oklahoma City. Mm-hmm. It's a 2-hour distance from here to there. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I done left the house with my kids not being completely dressed, hair not combed and all that. But guess what I'm doing in the car, Sean? Like, well, my sister is driving. You know what I'm doing?
What?
Brushing her, doing edges, wiping faces off, cleaning hands, just because they got a snack on the way there. You know what I'm saying? Little stuff like that. They gonna have drinks or whatever. So I just didn't understand that. Why are y'all saying that when we all done had to do things to make sure that we decent and presentable when we get there?
Right. So what Chrisean Jr.
It could be anywhere. Your job. If you on your way to work, you running late. you might have to run out the house without makeup or whatever. You don't get yourself together before you get there.
Yeah. So what
If
about
somebody don't
Junior?
care,
What about
go ahead.
Junior? So with Junior, what about him made you feel that you needed to bathe him?
When I got to Baltimore,
Yes.
um, so so like I told Blow when I got there, I was not instructed or given and I think that's what they were upset about. I wasn't given permission to work in ministry there. I was a guest. So my intentions for even accepting any type of invitation or anything was because I did want to check up on him. By the time I had heard so much things and everything, so I was like, I'm not gonna cause no ruckus, no attention or nothing. I just wanna, walk around, check, see who's doing what's what. And a lot of times when they have conventions or shows and stuff like that, the same workers that like if you do a job in one location, you will go up to them and tell them if they need extra help, you can volunteer to do the same position at a different location. So I knew some people that were from here. They were there doing, volunteering and everything. So I'm walking around speaking to people. How's everything going? And I asked Miss, I asked someone, how's Chrisean Jr. doing and da 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 da, and can I see him? How's he doing? And she was like, yeah, Val, you can go in here and have a seat and everything like that. So when I seen him, it was deplorable. He was not clean at all.
Mhm.
He looked it like he wasn't even the same from when I seen him. When I seen him a while ago, he was not the same. He wasn't lively, like bouncy. He wasn't doing nothing. He was just laying around. Um, there was no engagement. And so I was like, I said, can you come here real quick? She said, yeah. I said, do y'all have a change of clothes or anything for him? And she was like, girl, no, we don't got nothing, that'll fit him right now here. So I left. I went to go get something. I came back. Whenever when we was dealing with him, it took more than one person to attend to him. If you're gonna dress him, if you're gonna dress him, if you're gonna give him a wipe down and everything like that. So at first, I went into the bathroom and I had got some things and did some soapy paper towels. She was able to go get a rag out of the kitchen area. So we went to go get. She was like, "No, we're gonna go in here," because she was like, "We don't want any of the parents walking in
Who
or
is she?
officials walking up, and
Who is
they see
she?
us
Who is
wiping
she?
him down."
Who
And
is
that was, and I
she?
said, "Why? Because you can just wipe them. There's a changing area.
Who
You know
is
what I mean?
she?
Where children can have privacy inside of that setting. You see what I'm saying?"
Yeah, but
So I
hold on
said,
one
"Why?"
second. One second. Who is
Go ahead.
she? Who is she?
Missy, she works she was working directly in the toddler area, baby and toddler area that day. Now I can give you her name I can give you the name offline.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. But you can keep going. You said that she went and got some rags and y'all took him to another area?
Yes, but I asked her, why do we need to take him to the other area she wanted to take him to was the restroom.
Hmm.
I said, why? Because there's a changing area here. It's a changing area that is accommodates where you can change, where a child can have privacy where we were. So I asked her why. She responded to me and said, that is what we were told to do. We are not allowed to undress him or anything in amongst any other children or any other adults. I said, why? That made my heart drop because why?
Hmm.
This is what this is for. And then, everything is right there. Baby lotion, I'm saying wipes, diapers, pull-ups, all that stuff is right there. So you mean to tell me we got to take a whole entire, move somewhere else when we can do it right here? That didn't make sense to me. So I didn't even let that show or nothing like that. I said, okay. So we went into the bathroom, and as we wiping him up and everything, like we call it here H bath. I was told don't say that word again on the thing. But we called it here, basically where you hit the hot spots and it's not a real life bath. He wasn't putting no sink or nothing like that. We just call it that because you're getting cleaned up, but it's a form of a bath. So as she's taking his shirt and stuff off, I'm literally floored because he does have bruises on the chest. He does have bruises on the back. Before the shirt was even off, it's a knot on the top of his head towards the back, where it's a knot. Like if you were to touch it, it looks like his hair is puffed right there. If you see him regularly, it's not just puffed right there. It is a knot. If your hand, you could palm it. So I noticed that. I didn't notice that before.
Yeah.
He had bruises on the chest area. When she got to taking his pants and stuff. Oh, and his hands. When we touched his hands, he started, fussing. So I was looking. One of his hands, I physically opened it, and it looked raw, like red. It had a blister in between his trigger finger and the middle finger. I'm like, what the heck is going on? She's like, girl, and the person that I'm talking about, the staff worker, she told me that she had said something several times. She has brought that to their attention several times, is what I was told. Because I was not trying to just stir up no mess or no nothing like that. When she told me that she had already brought it to their attention several times, and she was like talking in circles because I kept saying, so is this why they make you come in here? Like, why you can't do it in the child's area? And so she's not saying too much. She's starting to get agitated at me. She just wants me to shut up. Let's get them freshened up and let's go back. She's like, let's go back. I'm ready to go back. So then she takes his pants and stuff off. He has only socks. He did not have on shoes. And his feet, they're already turned inward. It looked like if he was to stand up, he would stand on his ankles. So they were turned inwards, not curved. Like the ankle part is curved. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at his foot and stuff. I'm like, girl, I said, do you see this? I said, she's not even looking up at me. She's not even giving me short answers no more. No, none of that. When she gets to the diaper area, so behind, up under, I don't know what I'm allowed to say, but up under his, up under his,
you can say
up under his private area, it is sores. It is, and then it goes all the way to right before the crack of the crack of his behind that is on his back. It wraps around. It don't look like a rash to me. I'm at this point silent because I feel like she's not even gone. I can't say that she don't cry. I can tell she said, I feel like she does not want to even talk about it. She don't want to say nothing. She don't want me to do too much. And I feel like in that moment, she was feeling like she messed up for even allowing me to convince her to get him straightened up. And I guess she allowed me because I'm the one that went to go get him something to wear. So when we doing this stuff, I have tears coming out my eyes, but I'm not saying nothing else no more. She don't want to talk to me, Sean. Yeah. So I don't want to say nothing no more. And I'm losing my voice. Let me get some water.
Let's go. Yeah, take your time.
So, hold on. She doesn't want to say anything to me anymore. And y'all, this is just how my voice is. I'm not crying. I'm just, it is emotional, but I'm not crying. My voice is going hoarse.
Yeah, you're fine.
So I have tears coming out of my eyes and everything. And I'm like, so who did you talk to? I'm asking a bunch of questions. This is after tears was falling. I'm like, so who did you say you talked to? Because I'm telling her that I'm going to go talk to them. Like, I need to know who you said something to because now I need to say something. And she told me that she talked to the superintendent. She tell me that she talked to the original coordinator, the coordinator over the child area. Um, she said that they would get back with her and things like that. That like basically they would address it and they would get back with her. Then when she would follow up, she explained to me, that they would tell her that they've already addressed it, things were taken care of, and it would be handled. She said she knew that her concerns were not being made. She's only seeing them once a week, if that. But when she would see them, she's saying that she knows that the things that she had brought to their attention had not been met because it seemed like it was escalating. So I said, well, I need to say something like, I don't know what's going on. When I asked to go into the office, let me tell you this. While we're talking and everything, the moment that I was silent, I'm acting like I'm getting messages or I'm checking on my kids or I don't even remember what excuse I used, but I use that as an excuse to have my phone in my hand. I'm working with one hand. I got my phone in my hand. It's grainy. It's graphic. When I say grainy, like, you know how, and that's because I'm trying to get proof without alerting her that that's what I'm doing. Um, okay, so moving forward. So then I'm like, well, I need to go say something. So let's just go ahead and, she's like, I'm just going to go take him back. Da, da, da. I don't need them coming in there checking. This is how she says it. I don't need them coming in there checking on him, not checking on my room. I don't need checking on the kids. I don't need them, and she did not tell me who them was. I don't need them coming in here checking on him, and he's not in there, is what she said.
So who was them? Was you talking about like Chrisean and the pastor, or who?
That's what I'm telling you. When she said them, she did not say who them was. She didn't tell me who them was. What she said to me, and I asked her twice. I said, what? She said, girl, I need to get him. We need to get back in there because they're going to come check on my room, not because they're going to come check on the other kids, not because parents are going to come and check on their kids periodically. So what she said was, I got to get him back in there before they come check on him. And she did not explain who them was.
So what did you decide to do after that? Is this when you decided about the CPS call? When did the CPS call decide?
Right after I went to go to the office. That's what I was getting ready to tell you.
Okay, go ahead.
After I went to I'll go into the office. I'm like, I need to speak to someone. I did not even say who the child was at first. I said, there is a child that is being neglected, and I was told that the staff had addressed you guys, and they have spoken to A, B, C, and D. They've done follow-ups, and they have been told that it was taken care of, and it was addressed, and they feel like it hasn't. And what I just seen, it could not have been. When I said, and they were, well, who is the child? And, how you doing, Val? Who is the child and what's going on? And that's when it began to explain. And I'm like, well, what did you, they were asking me the same questions. Well, what are your concerns? And I told them this, and that. I said, this is what I've seen. This is what I had. Da, da, da. I said, somebody needs to call CPS right now. This is not I said, y'all need to go in there. Y'all need to go look for yourself. Y'all need to go look at this. Y'all need to go raise his shirt up, whatever. I don't know. Even if it's not neglect or whatever, if he got an injury, whatever, he needs to go to a hospital or something. When I decided to call CPS is when they told me that he had already been to a hospital yesterday. From the day that this was, he went to the hospital yesterday and he was fine. Ain't no way in hell. I said, so who told y'all that? Did y'all go visit him? Did y'all see him? What was going on? Like, so y'all seen discharge papers? What happened? Like, there's no way, no hospital. He's horrible. And they said, well, we were told that, he went to the hospital yesterday. I said, so y'all was told that. So then that means that y'all had already known what I was about to say to y'all. Y'all had already known that this is already an issue. And so then y'all addressed it and based off of what someone is telling y'all. And I did say someone, I didn't make no accusations. I said, based off of what somebody is telling y'all, y'all are fine with what was said because there was no proof or nothing. Well, we can, we're gonna go. We can revisit the situation later on. Right now is not the time, is what was responded to me. I said, yes, it is the time. So then I said, you know what? I was upset and I did act emotional. Hey, I'm on the phone. Hello, Karma. I'm on the phone, ma'am. Kazan, go in your own room. Thank you. Sorry, son.
You're fine.
I said, oh, you know what? Nah, we're not about to do this. I said, since y'all don't want to do it, y'all keep on wanting to say later. I said, I'm just to call right now. And I called right then and there.
So you called CPS. What did CPS come with the police, or did you call the police as well?
No, I called CPS when, so I guess they was hustling and bustling. I'm still inside the door. They are inside the door of the office. And when I'm inside the door of the office, so at first I was trying to kill some time because I knew CPS was already on the way. But I was on the phone. I wasn't on my speakerphone. I don't know if they felt like they was calling my bluff or whatever at first, so I wasn't being for real and I was just trying to put fire under them. They shortly realized that I was serious. I came out of the door that I was in, and I'm yelling. I am fussing. I am enraged. I'm upset. I'm like these people. I said y'all can talk to and I'm telling them y'all can talk to the lady that's in the room with them right now. She had already told them what was going on. They said they knew what was going on. They said he was just discharged out the hospital. And I said I'm not accusing anybody of any abuse or nothing. They said he had an injury. They said that he was just in. I told them the whole truth. I did not make accusations against nobody. I said, but he is not okay. He needs some type of medical attention. They asked me for the address. They asked me for the location and everything. When the CPS got there, they started yelling at me, and I'm trying to show CPS what's on my phone. They asking me what made me record it. They're asking me stuff that you wouldn't even, I ain't never even heard nobody that would ask that has the best interest of a child. Well, what made you record that? Well, you do aware that the child does not have clothes on, and you do, this is what they saying to me. I called the police. So then they said, that there could be a criminal offense. And so I called the police on my own self because I'm asking the police, is this a crime? Is this the net? We have a child up here. This child is injured. The child needs help. The child needs medical attention and everything else. They already said that the child went to the hospital the day before, and he was discharged. Ain't no way in the world that this child was discharged in this condition. And they said they asked me some questions. What's going on? What's the child? They asked me all of that. I'm letting them know the police did come. The police talked to me separately. They talked to other people separately. They talked to, it was officers talking to. We was all separate. We wasn't allowed to talk in the same space.
So when did you talk to the police officer? What was the police officer's energy like? What were they like?
They was like, I was upstirred. They said that they kept trying to tell me to calm down. And it seemed like I'm always punished for being human. I was not about to calm down. And when I did calm down, son, I'm not trying to yell. When I did, I'm sorry, I was triggered a little bit. When I did calm down, and I was telling them, I said, well, I even have it on my phone. Can y'all at least look? He needs to go to y'all need to call an ambulance. Like, he looked horrific. And I said, y'all don't even got to see what I got. Go look at them yourself. They look like they did not cut. They said that they had already been told that I would probably do something like that. How can you get a heads up? How could you be told that was you contacted by CPS when we were talking, or when they got through talking to me? Because CPS did get on the phone with somebody and they were talking to somebody. I don't know who that somebody was.
Did the police at least check on Junior? Because you said they did, because they didn't let CPS in, correct?
You said what?
They didn't let CPS in, correct, to check on Junior?
Not the second door. Okay, so when you first go in the first door, there's a little area right there before you can go into the church. No, they didn't let them into the main thing. No.
Did the police check on Junior?
No. They never even walked in there. Not when I was right there, they didn't.
Mm-hmm. So when you called the police, you said you called the police. You said you called the police on yourself. In what regard? Like, did you call the police and tell them to get down there, or what do you mean?
I called the police because I said this works. I explained to them that I had called CPS. I explained to them why I called CPS. I said the CPS said that they making it seem like it's illegal for me to even be having this on my phone. I mean, even recording him on my phone. They were saying a lot of things that was making me uncomfortable. Like they were gonna, like what I did was wrong.
Yeah. Where was Chrisean when all of this was going on?
Hollering and hooping and hollering and hooping and hollering in a whole nother room.
Was she with Junior?
Screaming, yelling, cussing, didn't care about being in no church, none of that. I did let a cuss word slip out or two, but I'm like, I apologize. I didn't mean it. She was cussing, screaming, yelling nonstop.
And was she with Junior, or was she just walking around the church upset?
She was, I think at first she wasn't with him, and then I think she went to the room where he was.
So you're outside the church, you're talking to the police. I said, so you're outside the church, you're talking to the police, CPS can't get in. What's happening now?
So they were, some of the officers was inside talking to other people, and then the three that was dealing with me, because every time a new one came, they need to know whatever happened all over again. Ma'am, they're going to ask you to go ahead and leave. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to have to ask you to get in your car. And what they said was, they did not say like, oh, we're going to escort you to the airport. What they said was for your own safety. We've heard, they admitted, like, if this came out their mouth, well, we did hear some things, we did hear over here. We don't know what our, and I kept on saying, so what's going to happen? Well, that's what we're doing now, man. We're talking to people this is a basic, what he said. He said it was some type of investigation, not basically like a formal one, but I guess to investigate, to get all sides of the story and see what the outcome is going to be, is the way that I took it. And so we're going to go ahead and make sure that we, what time is your flight supposedly leaving? I let them know that we wasn't even supposed to be leaving until either that evening or the next morning. And the reason why I say that evening or the next morning, because it was an open ticket. When you go and because when you do those type of things, you might stay a day longer. You might want to stay a day longer. You might want to rest. You might want to whatever. So it was a ticket out, but an open ticket back. It was a round trip, but an open ticket back. And when you do an open ticket there, all you got to do is let them know 4 hours in advance that, this is the time I want to be departed. However, with an open ticket, you do have to have a limit. So basically, like within 48, within 2 days, you have to be getting ready to go. Or you will have to pay a whole nother fee, right? So I'm letting them know, like, hey, we need to go to the room. We need to do this. We need to do that. No, there wasn't no stop, go, collect nothing, grab your purse, grab your bag. I didn't have my purse in my bag. It wasn't but that's the way they was like, no, we're going to go ahead and you need to go to the airport. They did not escort us all and the whole way there until we pulled up in there. I ain't gonna lie. They escorted us majority of the way. Of course, we kept going. And me and my auntie, like, this is the most craziest ish I've ever seen in my life. I'm upset. I'm crying. I'm floored. And I'm floored. So then we get to the thing. When I get to the airport, I'm charging on my phone. My auntie took an Uber. And the reason why I paused was because one thing you did say is don't over promise and overshare or whatever. So it's something I'll tell you when I talk to you personally. But so I get to the airport, I plug my thing up and my phone up on the charger and stuff.
Hold on.
My
So
auntie
you're
goes
saying
to
there's
get the
more.
Uber.
Hold on one second.
So we're not in the.
Hold on.
Go
I'm gonna
ahead.
pause you. So you're saying that there's more to the story that you didn't say on Blonay, and you want to say that privately?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Keep going. I'm sorry. I don't mean to.
I mean, I've shared something with Blonay privately, and Sean, when you said that, when you was like, "Don't deliver the receipts," I don't know if Blonay told you or not, but when I began to show her something from the other device, she's like, "I don't want to see that ish. Don't send that ish," because of the nature of it. And I can tell you more behind the thing because I was told don't even say that online. And I'm trying to take your advice and her advice. And I mean, I do trust. I do trust what the trusted people.
Hold on. So what you're saying about so you're saying Blonay. I want to explain this properly so that the people, I want to make sure that it lands with the audience. So you're saying that you talked to Blonay outside of social media, and you said that you had something to send her, but it was graphic.
She said, "Don't send me that." If she even said it on her own live.
Oh, so you recorded.
I told her to not send me that itch.
So you recorded Chrisean Jr.'s like genital area?
Huh?
So you recorded him nude?
Can I tell you? It's not just that. It's She didn't even want to say it herself on the line. I don't know if I should or not, but
well, no, you don't have to say it. Because I mean, we can pretty much like get the picture. So obviously, it's Chrisean Jr. nude, like he's not dressed.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct, and it's not only that. It's not only that, Sean. If a child is recorded in a private setting, like such as a bathroom or a changing room, you are not supposed to record without the parents' consent. Mm-hmm. Now, I can show the authorities and stuff like, and I did not know that, Sean. I did not, when I first showed them, the officer and stuff, when I showed these people, they never said, "Oh, that's illegal. Don't," you know what I'm saying? I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. So when I did say that publicly, and y'all should hold me accountable because I did say what I have, and I do, Sean. But I did not take into consideration that I could be getting hurt. That's what she said. She said, "Bro, we both can get in trouble." She said, "No." She said, "No," and don't even go into detail what it is or no nothing, because it is when it was resubmitted to the officer. Mm-hmm. That is okay for the purpose of evidence to be passed along to someone in the police field or whatever the case, or a doctor or something like that. That is okay. But it has to go only to that. I did not take that into consideration when I said that, Sean. Yeah. And when I resubmitted it to Oklahoma Police Department, they informed me that it is relative to child porn. It is in a private setting. It is a minor child, and I did not have the consent of the parents. And they know exactly what I have because the first time the officers had me, when they was doing the follow-up investigation, I didn't leave and just let it go, Sean. The first time that the officers were saying that they was going to do a follow-up investigation and all this after I'm gone or whatever, I submitted, they already seen it on my phone at the time, the initial situation.
So when the officers saw this footage. The police saw this footage?
You said what?
The police saw this footage.
Yes. Okay. I'm telling y'all, this is something Sean, this ain't no, I don't know. And I know that it sounds crazy. That was my biggest fear of even saying something. My fear, I know what come along with showing my face. Really, I wasn't even thinking about showing my face. I didn't know that it was an option to block the thing, and I wish I would have did that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's here who we are, and it is what it is, and I've been through worse. And if this is how bad that I feel, and this is the backlash that everybody's going through, imagine how Junior feels, because it ain't about nobody but him.
Yeah.
Nobody. I don't care about nothing or nobody but him. Sean, they seen it. It ain't no simple like, and I never seen nothing like this in my life. Mm-hmm. They seen it, and they were like, oh, it felt like, they did not say this verbally, but it felt like, oh, well, you probably need to go. Okay, well, we're going to deal with that. We hear what you're saying. We hear you. We got you. Okay, but right now, you need to go.
Yeah.
I said, if you're being trespassed, you need to leave.
So this was the police in Baltimore?
Yes.
Did you show the police in Oklahoma?
Yes, Sean. I showed the police in Oklahoma.
Did they have the same reaction, or was it different?
I was contacted when I was I had to get a treatment, but it doesn't matter what I was dealing with. I was dealing with some stuff. I'm trying to take your advice and not do too much. I was dealing with some stuff. I was contacted. At that time, when I was contacted, I was dealing with some stuff, and I had to follow up with them. This is all in a matter of the last 2 days. I resubmitted what they already had, and they contacted me, and they said they are opening an investigation, or either that or there is an open investigation. And they said that I cannot share it. They said it's a federal offense if I do share it, if it goes online. They said it is relative to child porn. They said that it is a felony charge when you record a child in a private setting as a minor without a parent's consent. That's exactly what they told me. And they did not tell me that until after they reviewed it again. I don't know if they had it before and they didn't take it serious, or I don't know. I don't know what was the difference between then and now, but they told me that I do not need to share that, and I don't even need to disclose the fact that I have something like that can land me in jail. And you know my background, Sean. Yeah. The only reason why I'm bringing up my background, because you probably didn't hear me earlier, the reason why I'm bringing up my background, because with those type of charges and stuff like that, with my background, that's some serious stuff. Not only that, it's been harassed. I don't care about the harassment and all that. That's the story of my life. But it's been more things outside of that. But Sean, they know.
Yeah. So you're saying that, so the investigation
this is not nothing that I haven't kept.
The investigation, was that open in Oklahoma or in Baltimore?
They said that it was an open investigation. When I contacted the Oklahoma Police Department, they said that it is an open investigation. Either that or they're opening the investigation. I don't want to, because I know that can mean two different things. I can't really recall at the time, but he did literally, and the reason why I can't, you know what I be dealing with. Mm-hmm. So I was fluky. However, he said that they're opening one, or there's an open investigation, and then he followed that up with instructions. Yeah. And Blonde knows this. And she said, I don't want that if, and she said it just like that. She said, we both will get in trouble.
Okay, but hold on, because we're gonna get to Blonde. We're gonna get to Blonde in a second.
Go for it.
When did this phone call happen, and they told you that there was just an open investigation, etc.? When did this happen?
This was the night. Okay, so the night before last is when they contacted me, and then early yesterday, that's when they first contacted me for resubmission and everything like that. And then yesterday.
Okay, hold on. So you're saying just as of recently, within the last 48 hours, they have been contacting you about this?
Yes. Okay. Yes, but they've already had it before then, though. Mm-hmm. Baltimore had it, and Oklahoma Police Department had it when I felt like Baltimore wasn't saying nothing or doing nothing. I can't say that they didn't say nothing or do nothing, but when I'm following up, and then they try to tell me that they would always say, well, we can't disclose that it's regarding a minor. That's what they would tell me. I'm not a parent and I'm not a family member. This is for a guardian. Yeah. So okay. I felt like just dismissed. because you could tell me something.
Yeah.
And they didn't ever tell me that it was illegal, or they never said that to me before. They never said that to me before. So when I was telling Blonay, like, yes, you can, this is not a problem. But then me and Blonay talked behind the scenes, Sean, and she said, don't send that dish.
Okay, so let's expound upon that. So you're saying Bolognaise telling you don't send that, but Bolognaise not telling you not to send any of the other receipts. Like the video, with you being escorted and you being a church member, police report docket. All that. She never says you can send her any of that though. She doesn't want the nudity. I understand her not wanting that. That's against the law. But she never said that you couldn't send her anything else. So what happened with that?
Hold on, you said the police weren't?
So I understand that because Bonet doesn't want the information, the video of Junior in the nude, and whatnot, which makes complete sense. That's again a crime. So I understand her not wanting that. But she never said that she didn't mind you sending the information that you said that you were going to send about the you being escorted out, the police report, the at least the plane ticket stub, or something to what I'm saying, to kind of tie you to knowing. She never said she didn't want that. So what happened to that stuff?
Okay, so at the time, they don't give you a police report that you just, take with you. I guess the police report ain't even made until after they get to speaking to everybody. Mm-hmm. They didn't provide me a case number or a police report. They never provided me a case number or a police report. I never said that I had that, Sean. And I never told, and then I heard you say that I was telling people that I gave y'all this, and that. I never said that. I said that I reached out to you.
Well, no, there were people coming into the chat that said that you were stating that you were.
Oh, well, then they were lying.
Well, no. Yeah, they were saying, because okay, because let's keep it cute, because my chat, I don't want my chat to get you. Because they get you. No, they were saying
that they were lying, like trying to call them like malicious liars. I'm saying like when my daughter be like, it's hot outside, and then to me it's chilly. Mm-hmm. I'm like, girl, you done lied to me. That I meant it in a it in a figure of speech. I didn't mean like they're liars. That's not what I was saying. I never ever. But I don't know if I don't know whatever they have said, but if it was said that I said that I had gave you anything or anything like that, that was not false. I said that I have reached out to you, and that is the truth. And the reason why I said that I reached out to you, because they said, why now? There were so many people inboxing, messaging, getting on the thing, why now? Why now? Why ain't you never tried to say nothing? Why ain't you never tried to reach out to Sean before? Why you ain't never da-da-da-da? I have reached out, and I did not want to go and just freely just start saying stuff all online and everything, and just winging stuff and not knowing what I'm supposed to do, who I'm supposed to talk to, no nothing. And then I feel like a lot of people you can't trust anyway.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the escort and everything, she was saying down it to a lower size, and because my auntie was the one recording on her phone before it went dead. But my phone went dead right then and there. After all of that stuff was going on, I'm screaming and yelling and all that. I was able to get what I seen at the thing. I also have me that's what I was going to see if I could show me in the restroom, because you can see it in the mirror and stuff like that. But you still see when you see me in the mirror, you still see the glimpse of him, and it's in the bathroom. And no, he's not completely revealed or nothing like that. But they said it was in a bathroom setting. I'm like, but me don't have nothing to do with that. Me and her were trying to figure out how to cover certain stuff and then go forward with that. As far as the clips and stuff that my auntie had, I did explain that my auntie had that on her phone and everything, and maybe I can go to. And I said that if you or her wanted to contact me and on the video thing, and then see another, you know what I'm saying, and see the clips and stuff, no matter how much you shrink it and everything, it's not sending to Messenger and all that. And Sean, is something else that you should know behind the scenes part is, I don't know if she told you or whatever, she's seen when I keep on trying to, I can't see, like I can see messages and everything like that. I cannot see YouTube videos on my account. I can see it like if I did my daughter's account and stuff like that. My Gmail, my Instagram, my TikTok, they're muting my voice, all of that stuff. All when I had the social media handles in my actual name, that stuff was removed. Period. Now they mute it, keep on giving me things saying that they're, and then other people have been messaging me saying that they was trying to share stuff, and if they were muted and they was told to take it down and all of that. Like it's on TikTok right now. When I go to a different account, I can see whatever. I can see messages and stuff like that. I cannot see videos, or I can't see anything or nothing. And I don't know what's going on with that. And she's seen the proof of that.
So to sum this up, are you saying that you don't have any receipts?
Hold on. Can you repeat yourself? Am I saying I don't have what?
So to sum it up, you're basically saying that you don't have any receipts, but the receipts that you do have, you can't show.
Well, correct. The receipts that I have, I cannot show. But Sean, I did tell her. I said, you know what, we can move forward because I don't want y'all not to have credibility. And I said, I said you can read. I don't know. I don't know if I don't want to say that online, but what I said basically was, if we move forward, is y'all coming to get me out of jail? That's pretty much what I said.
And what do you mean by going to jail? Why do you think you'll go to jail?
If it's illegal to share, if it's illegal to send, and all of this stuff, and someone was to do that, I'm not saying me, I'm saying hypothetical situation, and somebody was to do something that they was instructed not to do because it is a criminal offense, I said, if I was ever in that situation, y'all coming to get me out of jail, is what I said.
Okay.
But me and her was, talking back and forth. She said, girl, I'm a mediocre YouTuber. She said, girl, we're not about to do that. But she did. And then I even said, well, what about myself? But yes, Sean, what you're saying is accurate. What I have, they said that they cannot, it was instructed that they cannot be shared publicly or to send, message or no, none of that. They said it was a felony charge. And if it's sent through electronically online, they said it was a federal offense.
Well, do you think that it's possible for like you and Blonay to have that conversation like publicly, that you can't send the receipts that you do have, etc.? Because I mean, her audience is like waiting for these receipts, and it seems like they may not be coming out. So since they may not be coming out, I feel like, don't you think the audience kind of like is owed that from you?
Yes, I don't have no problem with that at all, Sean.
That's fine.
The last time we did talk, it was like, I guess it's a time difference from where she's at. We talked at 2 something in the morning, and then I just got up or whatever. But I don't have no problem with doing any of that, Sean.
Well, no, I was just saying, I know you're super sweet, and that's one thing I do like about you. You're really respectful, all that good stuff.
I really just feel like I want to do what you would advise. I mean, I feel like I can trust your advice, and I feel like you have the best interest for him at heart. But I also feel like you don't want nobody to be in trouble and this and that. So if you can talk to me behind it or whatever, or even message or tell me what you think, what you would do. I don't know if you mind just what I don't mind doing whatever you would suggest.
Well, I want you to follow your heart. Like, I want you to do what you feel is right. Like, I don't mind assisting you with that, but only you know where to go from here, with your story. Like I said, my advice would just be to keep it on Chrisean Jr. If your story is true, like you're saying that it is, it's unfortunate that you can't necessarily, kind of put your foot in your mouth, kind of talk too fast. And aren't able to show the people exactly what you wanted them to see. But it doesn't necessarily take from your story. It doesn't mean that you are lying. Your story is very detailed. I do get people not necessarily believing it because of the whole you stating to Blonay's audience that you were going to give a receipt to one now. So, and a lot of people in the YouTube sphere, especially, they want to see a receipt or two if you're offering it. I feel like people are only requesting the receipt because you stated that you had them and that you would show them and that you would let certain content creators have access to them. Other than that, I really don't think anyone would be asking for a receipt because
You
no, we didn't put it out there. This is your story. So and I do feel like it's kind of like not victim shaming, but can be looked like that way. What people telling you like, oh, well, where's the receipt? Where's the receipt? Prove it, prove it, prove it, prove it, prove it. Not everything can be proven, but you can prove some things, right? So if your hands are tied, if you're stating that there is now an open investigation and you have been implemented in that investigation and you are being and they're withholding you from putting anything that is equivalent to whatever they're working on with this case, then I understand that too. But I do think where the energy came out, that energy needs to go back there too, like there as well. So I do think that a conversation is needed between you and Bologna's audience to correct what has been going on. Because again, I do feel like a lot of people are looking for Bologna to prove your story when it's your story to prove. You see what I'm saying? So if you could just hit up Bologna and maybe she can go live or something like that, and you could take that responsibility back from her. I think that would be great because then Bologna can move on with her content. But I feel like her audience is not going to let her live that down until it's at least acknowledged. That would be the only right I feel like you need, or wrong I feel like you need to write. Other than that, I mean, it's up to you. Like it's your story. No one can tell you about you. People are going to either believe you or they're just going to simply think that you're not telling the truth. I mean, in these cases, you can't win for losing. So I would just say just keep your head up. I see that you are over there on TikTok, etc. I would say try not to be an antagonistic because on some of your videos, it does seem like you're kind of trying to antagonize either the people that are Chrisean Rock supporters or just Chrisean. Because I do feel like it's confusing to the audience if you're telling them that you're being harassed, etc. But you are also being part of the aggression too. So I would say probably kind of try to stay away from that. Like just address your story. Don't address those people. Like it's not worth it. And you don't want to make anything worse. Like you don't want to make people, you have beautiful children, all of that. I don't want anybody targeting your children. Like I'm sure they already are. But I would try to keep as much energy off of them as possible. So that's all I would say. Just stick to your story. If you want to go live and talk about what you have been through and your situation with Chrisean, etc., you have that right. Like you're entitled to that. But I would say just keep it on that. Keep it on Junior and why you feel like Junior needs help, the things that you saw, and to let people know that you are working with police. If that's what you said they just contacted you with over the last 48 hours, then yeah, you do that. You just keep your head up and just try not to keep it focused on God and Junior. I think people love to hear you talk about religious topics and to talk about your testimony. I would stick to that. And yeah, just keep it on Junior. Keep it on him. Don't worry about none of that other stuff. Just keep it on Junior. Just like I said, your past wouldn't matter if you're telling the truth. If you're telling the truth, who cares what you've been through in the past? Who cares what you've done? None of that matters. Who can care? Some mistakes are mistakes. Nobody's perfect. We all do things. But if on social media, if we can't give our audience answers, then we're going to find them answers. So that's why you see in my title, Chrisean X Members, da da da, because we don't have anything tangible to stand on at this moment. And there was way more confusion than it being understood. But I do feel like people have a better understanding, kind of what you're going through and what has been going on. So I do appreciate you calling in. I hope you don't feel disrespected by me because that was not my intention at all. I had no plan of coming here trying to like literally like bash you or anything like that. I don't know you to bash you. And I do feel, regardless of all of this, that you do care about Junior. I do feel that. I kind of feel it when you talk about him. I do feel that way, and Blonde tell you the same thing. Like I said, regardless of all of this like drama, etc. going on, I do feel like she cares about him. I do feel like she wants what's best for Junior, right? So that would be my advice. Just keep your head up, stay focused on your journey with God, stay focused on your journey with rehealing and healing. Because, sometimes we have to reheal. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? We go through things and we think we're over it and we're not. So we have to heal all over again. So I will focus on that. I heard a lot about what you went through, and are still going through. So the situation with you and your grandfather, I mean, it's going to be your word against your mom's. Your mom, she has certain things to say, and I don't know the dynamic of your relationship with your mom, but I do think the more honest you are about something, the less the person can use it against you. So I do feel like you should talk about it, because it's out there. I mean, it's newspaper articles, etc., about what went down between you and your family. And I don't know if you're still currently with that man, or not, but I mean, that's a lot. So I would definitely talk about it, because then people can use it against you. People only can use things against you that you don't want to address. If you don't address it, then they make up all type of narratives and stories around it because you won't. So since you won't, they will. Trust me. What you won't do, they will. So it's better to tell your own story than let somebody try to tell it for you. Because I understand a newspaper article is not going to say everything that's going on. It's just going to say this part, but it's your side, it's your grandfather's side, your mom's. There's plenty of other people that are involved. So, like I said, during your journey, during your commentary, I would speak on those things just so you can get rid of them and just keep it on Junior. Don't worry about nothing else for Junior but Junior. If you're advocating for Junior, if you're creating awareness for Junior, your past doesn't mean that you can't do that. Who cares, right? You see a child in need, you're a parent yourself, you have that right to be a part of that village. We just want you to honestly be a part of the village. That is all. We don't mind accepting you and welcoming you right on in, and all of that, but we just want to make sure that we are not bringing in someone that is trying to defy us, pull the wool over our eyes, etc. So that's what I would say. I would say, keep it on June. And if you want to speak outside of this, I'm completely fine with that. I would love to have a conversation with you, and Blone as well. I would love to talk to both of you, too, so that we can all be on the same accord. Um, yeah. And I just wish the best for you. And yeah, I just hope this works out in your favor and that this does help Junior, in the long run. I really do want the spotlight back on him, because this is what this is about. So I want to keep it on Junior.
And you're right, Sean, and I appreciate you. I don't feel disrespected. I don't feel, and I want to be clear, I don't feel any type of way about Chrisean supporters or anything. When I was saying, and I'm just gonna be transparent. When I was saying rock stars and everything, it was people that because I was making posts on Facebook, and it was peers that, well, I can't even say peers because they wasn't directly like in my social circle,
Mhm.
but it was people that we are familiar with each other and we know of one another, and they were upset that I would even cover anything about her because they said that I'm a black woman and I constantly speak up for black women, and they feel like I'm basically speaking out against a black single mother. So when I was saying rock stars, I was speaking about those people specifically, which was before this situation. And when I said I've been harassed and da 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 da, it has been by people that know of me. It's not strangers. I'm not bothered by. Everybody is entitled to how they feel. And you're right. I have to be accountable for saying something, and people have those expectations. Um, and you have to forgive me, Sean. I did assume, and you're right. When something goes viral, or whatever, even if I've addressed it in the past, I need to revisit it and disclose it. You gotta forgive me because I assumed, because I have addressed, the thing that happened with my grandfather. That was over 10 years ago, but I have, well, almost 10 years ago. I have revisited that, and the manager speaking about this when I was saying that was my kid's stepfather. He was unalived,
Oh,
and
I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah, he was unalived 2 years ago. Within the same week of my son's biological father unaliving, and we had a special bond because of the things that I had been through. He was he was there for me, my beacon of light regardless. And so that was something that I assumed that everybody knew. But if there's new people coming and there's new audience, and I didn't even expect this to go viral or no none of that. I didn't. I just thought I was just going, you know what I'm saying? My intentions was to confirm and validate what y'all had already been, how y'all been feeling and how y'all been advocating. I would keep with seeing people, y'all would be defending yourself and everything. And I'm like, no, y'all not crazy. They're being honest. And this was me saying stuff against the people that would come and attack you and Monet. And you're right, it is about Junior. And that's what the focus should be about. And um, in that sense, I can say I veered off a little bit because I would always want to be like, no, I'm screaming at the thing, like, no, he's right, he's on it, he know what he's talking about. No, she's not tripping, and that was my intent. It was never my intent to have, and people have said, why do I use the word clout? I don't use the word clout in my normal vocabulary. I don't use that word or nothing. I use it because it kept being brought to me. They kept messaging me. I didn't acknowledge any of those messages or no nothing. My concern and who I was addressing was people that could have access to me or could be able to get themselves in close proximity to me. Yeah. People that I don't know and all that stuff. It's fair for you guys to feel the way you feel. I do not feel disrespected, Sean. And you, like anybody else, you're going to go off of what you know, and you've always had integrity. So with you having integrity, this is not nothing that I would expect any less. As far as Bonet, absolutely, I will reach out to her again. I know she was going to reach out to me today, I believe. And we were going to, further go from there, whatever. I have no problem taking full responsibility and accountability because this is me. This is not on you guys. And I never said that you guys, that I sent you something, Sean. I would not even drag your name through the mud because even without me, I feel like you will be the one to lead I don't even lead the village to helping him. So I would never want to stagnate or harm or discredit anybody that has a hand in helping Junior because that's what it's about. And like I said, I don't hate Chrisean. A lot of people say that we do this because we dislike her or we're malicious towards her. I know none of that. It's not about her or her personally. I know people with character that's worse than hers, and it could have been alleged at one time that I could have been worse, lost, and and everything else. I don't want people to hold that against me on my endeavors as being a mother in my future, so I would never do that to her. I just want Junior, I want people to know that Junior does need help. He does need to be in a better position. And I just want the people that's going to help him. I want those people to know that that's what is going on. That's the only thing I wanted to do. I didn't know it was going to turn into all of this. And then one thing you did say that struck me, if you give up, you never care at all anyway. Yeah. So, and you're right. And I know what comes with this and all of that, the naysayers and the haters and all that. I don't feel no type of way about any of that. And you're right. And you're right. On social media, people do want receipts and this and documentation and all of this other stuff. And it just happens so fast. And you're right, Sean. I put the cart before the horse. And some things I didn't take into consideration when I did speak and was being emotional. And, and I apologize for that. I apologize to your audience. I apologize to Bonet. I apologize to Bonet's audience because that was never my intentions. And I really do just love and want him to get help. That's it. And that's all. I don't even want the pastors to have, I don't want nothing against nobody. I just want him to get help. That's all I want.
Well, I really appreciate
it. And I thank you for giving me a chance to speak with you.
No, thank you for coming up. I really appreciate it because these aren't easy topics and it's not an easy situation. So I really do appreciate you calling and, us being able to have some clarity because it was fuzzy, fuzzy and foggy. So it was really nice to talk to you. And I really do appreciate that. I do, because you didn't have to do anything. You could have just sat back and just let it be what it is. But you know what I'm saying? You wanted to speak and I do appreciate that. So I do want you to hit me up in the background and we will go from here. I know this has been a lot for you, so I'm going to let your throat rest. I'm going to let my throat rest. And maybe we can revisit this on another day. But I do think that you and Bonet should have a conversation and hopefully it can go from background to public so that her audience is cued in on what's going on because they have been, waiting to hear from you. So I really appreciate you coming up, sweetheart. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You have a good day,
You
Sean.
too. Thank you, sweetie. Y'all, y'all. Lord. Whoa. 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 You know, I have so much information on it to like process. Whoa. I'm thinking so many different things right now. So many different things. Um, I feel like I need to just let it simmer. I feel like I just need to like let it simmer. But part of me kind of wants to, I want to hear from y'all, honestly. I want to hear what y'all think. Like, but I also want to hear from Bologna. Like, I have a lot to say and like nothing to say at the same time. Because part of me wants to let it process. I don't know, even part of me feel like I just like hear it back, you know? It's a lot. And I'm still so confused. I don't, it's like, it's like, I believe her, but then it's like, it's a lot. It's a lot. I just want to get back to Junior, you know? It's a lot. And it's like part of me feels bad for her. And, and it's just like, I'm like all over the place. All over the place. Um, the part she said about the Junior not PS5, yeah. Yeah. Alexa, my boo moderator. Alexis said, because that's who it's about. Actually, shot. Right. Yeah, I want to get back to Junior, you know? Ugh. Nicole says, talk to her offline, Sean. That is just proof. I will talk to her offline. I don't mind speaking to her. Like I said, I feel like her, myself, and Bologna, offline. I feel like all three of us, should get on the phone, so we can, I don't know, it's just, it's like I'm still like 50-50. What I'm going to say, I'll say 60-40 or maybe 70-30. Yeah, maybe 70-30. I feel like I'm like 70-30. Like 70% of me believes her, but like 30% of me is still like really skeptical about certain things, you know? But it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't want to like write her off. I don't want to like write her off. I don't know why something's telling me like, you know, what do y'all think? I want to talk to y'all because I trust y'all. I trust my audience. I trust my uncheckables and plastics. Like I trust y'all opinion. This one, like I feel like I just need to do a call in Because I want to hear what y'all think. Because ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. 70, the 70% is me believing her. And then there's like 30% of me that's kind of just like, I'm silent, like, John. You know, you know, 30% of me is on the side like this, you know, and then the 70% is just like, it's something here, you know. I don't know. Della says do a poll. Tanya says trust your discernment. My discernment is just like broken right now. My meter, it's like broken. Y'all saying do a poll. I feel like the majority of y'all, I think it's gonna be neck and neck. Honestly, I think it will be neck and neck, but I do think the overall is gonna be that they don't believe her. I do. I do. I don't know. Parts of me, it's just like, you know. Listen says, Sean, you look exhausted. I am. That's a lot of energy, you know, because I am an empath. So it's like as an empath, I try to like think about what a person's thinking and what they're going through before I just, you know, before I just like pounce. And I really don't want to pounce on her, you know. I don't want to do that. And I don't want her to feel like attacked. Because I don't want other people that's coming forward or may come forward to feel, you know what I'm saying? You know? Like I don't want to attack her. Even if she was being dishonest, I don't necessarily like want to attack her because it's like, okay, well, what is she going through? You know, that'll make her feel like she needs to, you know? So I don't know. Part of me, I don't know, I just want to help her. And I really want to help her, like if she's telling the truth about Junior, because this helps Junior. You know? It helps Junior. I'm so torn. I'm torn. Like I'm torn. That's why I said maybe I just need to let it process. Maybe I just need to let it process because I didn't know anything about like the police being involved, that there was an investigation going on. I didn't know. I had no idea. No idea. I get the whole story she's saying. Yeah, I mean, and she has a lot of detail, you know? She has a lot of detail. I don't know. I think I should just let it process. I think I should. I think I should just, you know, yes, time will tell, sweetie. Yeah, you were absolutely right. Time will tell. Hold on. Shout out to my boo Ashley for the cash app. Thank you so much, Ashley. You're so sweet. Thank you, sweetheart. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And shout out to my boo Christina. Thank you so much for the cash app, ladies. I really appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Y'all so sweet. Hold on, let me get into the super stickers. Shout out to my boo Melanie, moderator. She says, "Hey Sean, why is she talking about her granddad?" Okay, so shout out to my boo Melanie. She was talking about her grandfather because, you know us, we tell us the whole story. She's talking about her grandfather because in a newspaper article, it was alluded that from the police that she was using her grandfather's credit card while he was terminally ill in the hospital with cancer, I believe. Um, and she was using his credit card to send money to her boyfriend in prison. And her mom caught her and told the police. So she got arrested and went to jail. So that's what that was about. Um, okay. Thank you for the Super Six, sweetheart. Shout out to my boo, Miss Cheryl, for becoming a member. Shout out to you, sweetie. Thank you so much. for being a member. I love you, girl. Shout out to my baby Tasha Sherry for gifting 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Tasha. You're so sweet. And I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm late to the Super Stickers, but I love y'all. Okay, I love y'all so much, and thank y'all so much. Thank you for gifting 5 memberships, sweetheart. I really appreciate it. Shout out to my boy, I'm Della. Della says, I believe her. Her story hasn't changed. It's just hard to follow. I would agree. I would agree that her story is, kind of like all over the place. But I feel like she just needs to be guided. She just needs someone to kind of like ask a question that she answered and kind of like stop her, then have her elaborate on certain things and answer another question. You know what I'm saying? So beginning, middle, and end. But yeah, so I would agree. I think a lot of people believe her, but it's hard to follow. Um, Thank you so much for the super sticker, Della, sweetheart. Shout out to Star Stan says you can't make up on the spot, I believe. Shout out to Star Stan. You'd be surprised at what people can, they can make up right off the cuff. But thank you so much for the super sticker, sweetheart. I really appreciate it. Shout out to Kendall says, thank you, Sean, for getting the tea. Well, I try to do what I can do when I can do it. Sweetheart. Thank you so much, Kendall, for the super sticker. You're so sweet. I really appreciate that. Hold on. Shout out to Real Nikki Vibes. Thank you so much, sweetheart, for the super sticker with your pretty self. Thank you, sweetheart. Oh, you're so sweet. I love y'all. Shout out to my boo Dayla. Again, she says it's a lot, but what is your initial thought? Dayla, I don't have one yet. Babes, I wish I could tell you, but I literally don't have one yet. I'm trying to like let it process because it's like all of this stuff is like rushing through my mind, you know? I'm just trying to, yeah, but we're definitely gonna have to either do a follow-up show or I'm just gonna open up the phone lines with a topic and just let y'all just because I truly want to hear what y'all think. I really do. I want to hear what you all think and feel. Shout out to Tori. She says, I know you did your deep dive already, Sean. I'm just waiting for it. Toya, you are right. You're absolutely right. I have done a deep dive on Valencia. I have. And I have found a lot out about her, and she's not lying about having a troubled life. Um, Very troubled. Very troubled. Shout out to G Rod says thanks for covering it. They covering it, Lord. They covering it. And again, I will say this. The church said that because y'all are thinking that like I'm confused because of other stuff. Let me tell you why I'm really confused. Okay. I spoke to the church. From what was told, the last time they did a congregation type of situation going to visit another church was in 2005 and it was by bus. But churches lie. People lie. So it's like, are they telling the truth or is she telling the truth? They said the last time they sent anyone anywhere via plane was certain members of the congregation. So like important people in the congregation. I'm just telling what they told me. But churches lie. They do. Man lie. That's what they is. So I'm like, I'm not gonna say that it's like 100% true. But again, I mean, this is why receipts are so helpful, because then we can prove that the church is lying. Okay. But I will say this. I don't fully believe them. And I have reasons to say why. But I don't fully believe them. I don't. Now, part of what they said, I believe. But the other part is just like, I'm like, yeah, that's not given. That's not given. So it's a lot. It's a lot. That's why I'm like, yeah, we got to do a full like conversation. Like, I have to tell you everything that I found out, right? and then I'm going to compare to what she said, and then I'm just going to let y'all decide. What do you believe? Because it's not about me anymore. Hey, because hey, whatever. So it's a lot, but I'm not gonna make it seem like all churches are so honest. And then no, churches lie. they lie. They do. Shout out to my boo, Carrie. She says, "Modern mommy dearest." Absolutely. Thank you so much for the super sticker, sweetheart. I really appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, people lie, just like churches lie too. So I'm not just like, oh, 100%. But that did kind of take. I was a little taken aback, by that. I'm like, ooh, 2005. I was like, well, that's. And this is why I said I don't believe them because, well, people lie because they did. When I say they did, they do go to other churches. I'm like, y'all do though. And recently. So I'm like, and recently. So I'm like, well, that didn't work. Because at first I was gonna be like, okay, yeah, she definitely probably capping about that because church said they don't do da da da. And then I look up pictures on Facebook, and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, well, here y'all go right here to church. Y'all be in Ohio, y'all be in the Maryland area, the DMV area, y'all be in Texas. I'm like, y'all go to all type of places. So y'all do travel. That does happen. Mm-hmm. A lot of times by bus and van, but they be traveling. They do. I'm well, back to the drawing board. I'm like, well, back to the drawing board. Because I'm like, well, because y'all not being honest. Y'all do travel. Like, you make it seem like we ain't been nowhere since 2005. I looked online before I went live. I'm like, okay, well, actually, y'all have. Y'all actually do travel around. I'm like, okay, this like, what is happening? I'm like, what is happening? What is going down, right? Um, Crazy work. I just want to be able to get back to Junior. If we could utilize um, Valencia to help us with that mission, I'm all for it. I just want it to be honestly. I don't want anything embellished or put more dip on the chip. I don't want all that. I just want us to be being real so that the audience knows that we are real. Um, and yeah, you know. Can you leave this up so I can go back on this? Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's not. I'm not taking it down. I usually leave with my lives unless it's something bad happens in them, but usually our lives are pretty. Our lives are, but yeah, it's definitely going to stay on me. I don't have any intention of taking it down. Shout out to my boo, Lizzie Mag. My boo said, please hit the like. Y'all been here deep and this whole time. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Thank you so much, Lizzie. Love you, babes. Um, yeah, so this has been a lot. So I feel like what I'm gonna do, we've been live over 2 hours, so I feel like I'm just gonna end it here for the people so they can watch the playback, and we'll just go live tomorrow morning, and I'll tell y'all the rest of the information that I know, and we'll kind of go over some things and compare and contrast, like the things you said here versus the things you said with Blonay, and then we'll just open up the phone lines. So I'll leave the phone out just like we did, yesterday? I believe it was that yesterday. Yeah, I'll just leave them open and let y'all call in and get it off your chest. But I definitely want to hear from y'all. What time? I would say probably 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. So probably like 10. Yeah, probably like 10, 11, one of the other. We'll go live around that time. I like going live in the morning. And I'm going to church tomorrow. So that's in the evening though. So I'm going to go to second service. So I will come live and we'll talk about it. It's a lot. Okay. So I will let y'all go ahead and rewatch and gather y'all thoughts. Thank y'all so much for being here. Thanks for liking and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Keep praying for Junior. Justice for Ronnie though. Clocks go forward tomorrow. They do. They do. They do. Yeah. So I'm gonna go figure out my life. Okay. Shout out to Blow Name Media. Love you, sweetheart. please get over there and subscribe to my girl Below Name Media. She's been doing her thing. Shout out to her. Again, I really hope that Valencia goes over there and fixes things with Below Name's audience, because my girl being over there going through. I've been seeing her trying to keep her composure and whatnot, but I could tell it's bothering her. But I know that Blonay is super sweet, and Blonay believes her. She believes her. So I guess now she's saying that no one's getting any receipts. Okay, that there won't be any receipts coming out. And know that people are only asking her because she said that she had. That's it. Right. So shout out to my boo Blow Name Media. Get over there, subscribe to her. Shout out to Valencia. Thank you so much, Valencia, for borrowing me your life and giving me your time. I really appreciate that. So until the next live, I love you all. Mwah! Justice for Junior, justice for Ronnie Doe. Keep praying for Junior, y'all. All right. Until the next show. Bye.